And like you said, we follow rules abroad. I went to Geneva just now and I had an Indian group which did not want to jaywalk because say, यहाँ पकड़ लेगा तो fine भारी पड़ेगा. That's exactly what they were saying. But Sadhguruji, coming back to what next for you as part of Save Soil, you flagged off a bike rally and you've set off a few youngsters saying if a 65-year-old can traverse 28,000 kilometers, you guys need to do something. So you set them off. What are they going to do now?
They wanted to prove something. I said, okay, let's use it. Now they are going to go to different cities and ignite another 20 riders from each city to go across each state, all the towns and not every village, but at least taluk headquarters and like this, and make people aware that this is a concern and this needs to be addressed. Because if government has to make a policy which will bear results in 8, 10, 15 years' time, they need people's mandate. That's what I'm trying to create. It doesn't matter which government is in power. They are in power generally by mandate only for 5 years.
Yeah.
Why will they do something which will bear fruit after 15 years unless people say so? So I'm getting people to speak loud and clear, we are concerned about it, do something about it. Because whenever they take long-term policy steps, they lose elections. That has been the
Correct.
experience. We want to change that. If a government invests in long-term well-being, people should vote for them.
Yeah.
Not trinkets that they're giving, somebody is distributing cash, somebody is giving this and that, gifts at the time of election, that's not what we need. We, in a country which has only 4% of the world's land and 17.6% of the world's population, soil, if you don't take care, you don't know what kind of disaster you will be. Not that you don't know, just 75, 80 years ago you had famines. One famine in 1942 took 3.2 million people. If you don't learn from that, because probably most people in this generation don't even know what is famine, because it's not written well, it's not filmed, it is not instilled in us, this should never again happen to us.
Correct.
After so much infrastructure, technology, education, information, if we once again drive towards a famine, there is no excuse for us.
So as we speak, this is also the consecration day, the first few droplets of rain on us, but of Dhyanalinga. Post the pandemic, Sadhguruji, the government also realized the need or the issue of mental wellness. How important is for us to be spiritually a little more engineered, if I may say that, for us to tackle this?
Very important, absolutely important. If you are not well engineered, it means there'll be too much friction within you. You can call that mental ailment, physical ailment, stress, anxiety, you can call it whatever you want. Essentially, there's friction in the system. So, in engineering means you're well engineered so that you're friction-free within yourself. People are asking us, how did this kind of, a rally like this, for example, a journey like this in 100 days, passing through 27 nations, logistics, works, meeting people, events, there's a whole lot of things. How does an organization which doesn't have any professionals in it, everybody is volunteers, how do you pull it off? This is what it means. Because people are well engineered, what they do will be of a different level. I don't think any professional agency can ever pull this off like this. I'm not trying to boast about myself. All I'm saying is, because people are at a certain level of dedication and devotion as to what should happen, and they are stress-free, this happens. Above all, one more thing about mental health is, mental health and soil health are very directly connected. Even the pandemic, you said, see, you can call it by whatever names you want. Essentially, it's a respiratory tract infection.
Correct.
You don't need a mega virologist for this, just a local doctor, if you ask him, he will tell you to ward off respiratory infections in your diet, you must have vitamin A, B6, B12, D, C, calcium, folate, iron, zinc, these things are needed to ward off respiratory infections. That is not present in the soil, that is not present in the food that you eat, so you become so susceptible to a virus. Even now, if you just look at the stats in the country, most of the pandemic on coronavirus deaths happened in cities, not in the villages. One is maybe concentration of population, definitely that is a factor, but it is also the people are more resilient, simply because they're living in nature, they're in touch with the soil, most of them are farmers who go to the land, all this. So, there are many aspects, but above all, soil is the most fundamental, or maybe above all is a wrong term. Beneath all this…
Beneath all this. The foundation is all the soil.
Soil is the most important thing, because without soil, seed will not sprout. Without soil, crop will not come. Without soil, you and me will not be healthy. Even mental health is very directly connected to the nutritional aspects. There is substantial study about this today, where they're clearly pointing out why mental health aspects are rising so much in United States, and where is the nutrition level. Because United States has gone to the extreme of monoculture cropping. We are also beginning to do it because we are largely small farms. Here and there little bit of mix is happening, not with rice and wheat, but with other things little mix is happening. So we have not destroyed it to that extent, but in United States it's a large-scale monocropping, which is death of the soil, death of nutrients, death of life on the planet. What we thought was a miracle, the Green Revolution, we must understand these are emergency steps that we took to go beyond famine situations. I appreciate those emergency situations, but it was a bridge to cross. If you get onto your bridge, at some point you must get off. If you don't get off, that becomes a bridge to nowhere.
Final question, Sadhguruji. As much as you said food, nutrition is important towards mental wellness, one thing I saw also at the Dhyanalinga is that, and it's true, that spiritualism is agnostic to faith, personal faith. How important is for us as a nation to understand ourselves, we also need to turn a little more inward spiritually? Do you think that will also trigger a certain civilization?
I'm not much for symbolism, but in spite of that, today being the consecration day, people from all faiths, Hindus, Christians, Muslims, Jews, Sikhs, Jains, they're all coming, we've given them time slots where they come and do their own chants. This is symbolism. This is to make people understand, beyond whatever you think is yours and mine, all human beings are just looking for well-being.
Correct.
Well-being means within